This is another Making Comics 101 quick tip. Greetings, people of the internet. I'm Scott with Serkworks Art Labs. Welcome, mad creators, to the underground laboratory where together we're going to create some awesome comics, because this is a Making Comics 101 quick tip. So this is how it works. On Mondays, I put out an official episode on a topic. Then on Wednesdays, I dive a little deeper and do a little bit of an exercise, a bonus exercise, and then on Fridays, I round everything out with a quick tip. Now, if you watch the bonus episode this week, this week we're talking about panels, all right? If you watch the bonus episode this week, you'll know that I did sort of a demonstration on how I design panels traditionally, and I had mentioned that on the quick tip that I was going to show you how I do that digitally in Clip Studio Paint. But I kind of changed my mind. Now, I may this weekend release another bonus video where I do that. I don't think I could have done that in this quick tip format, which is basically me just standing here giving you a real quick tip, whereas the bonus videos allows me to kind of sit at a desk and kind of show you the process of something a little better. So it just wasn't really going to fit in there. So hopefully I'll still do that and you'll get a bonus episode, an additional bonus episode. But today we're talking about panels, so I would be remiss if I did not mention Wally Wood's 22 panels that always work. Now, if you've seen this circulating around on the internet, or if you're old school, maybe you're an artist and something like this was being passed around in the Marvel bullpen, this is sort of just a famous sort of artifact created by an amazing cartoonist, Wally Wood, and it was sort of compiled by Larry Hama, who, if you're familiar with like the 80s G.I. Joe comics, or just G.I. Joe comics in general, he's the writer of some of those great stories, and also he was Wally Wood's assistant, so he sort of compiled these. There's a few different versions, but these are all, it's all over the internet if you want to check it out. I've sort of printed this one out. Now, I think there is an official one that has, I think it was redone by Wally Wood or with Wally Wood illustrations. I just wanted to kind of go through these really quick because these really are great options if you're stuck for coming up with kind of what panel layouts you want to do. These are great. And that's why it's been shared so many times. So again, Wally Wood's 22 panels that always work, or some interesting ways to get some variety into those boring panels where some dumb writer has a bunch of lame characters sitting around talking for page after page. Here we go. We'll start off. We'll try to do these quickly because this is a quick tip. Big head. So pretty obvious. Just a head filling the screen. Not really any background or anything like that. Extreme close-ups, even closer. Usually to show the expression, like maybe a surprise expression, or some really impactful expression that you want to get going on. Back of the head, and then this is part of the head. The main thing is you've got the back of the head kind of looking over somebody's shoulders, and then whoever they're talking to, you can kind of see them. Now, it doesn't just have to be part of their head. You can see their full head in there if you want, but the main thing is just sort of that over shoulder look. Almost a point of view look, but not quite, just over the shoulder. Profile, no background. So you don't have a lot of busy stuff going on in the background. You've got two characters talking or whatever, profile. White Ben-Day. Now Ben-Day, it's pretty much like halftones. If you've seen the halftone dots, basically like halftones or screen tones. So white Ben-Day, dark foreground. So basically light in the background and then darker in the foreground. Open panel, complete object, and this is a car or a plane or whatever. So no panel borders, but just focusing on a particular object. Here we've got a car. All black. This is really cool. Now you can see how great this is because all we basically got is the tie, the guy's face here, and you kind of see his hand there. But I mean, it's just great, and it works so well. Over here we've got one big object. So here we've got a character pointing at maybe whatever they're pointing to, that focal point. But I do this one all the time. You can see this in my comics. And this could be a person holding a gun or anything like that. Any kind of objects, or just pointing or making some sort of hand gesture. Full figure open panel. So we've got the full body of a figure from head to toe, and then no border around it. Reverse silhouette, black or Ben-Day. So, and then open bottom. So here you've got like a white silhouette. The background is mostly black, or a darker, or, a fuller, like Ben-Day, like heavier halftone pattern or screen tone pattern, and then just open and then no panel on the bottom. That's really pretty cool. All right, so small figure and then Ben-Day around it. So you can kind of see where this is sort of a graduated kind of screen tone coming down, and then we've got this solid figure down here. Depth. So here we got like 3 different examples of showing depth in a comic in one panel here. You probably wouldn't use all of these, but you could, you know. So we've got a figure here in sort of what looks like a doorway, and then another door behind him, or this other hallway going back here, or even this person coming up from like this trap door. So you can see all this depth. So showing depth in a panel, that's what we're getting across here. A down shot with a cast shadow. So we're looking down on a figure and we're seeing the shadow as it kind of goes off into the distance. L shape and then silhouette. So we've got our silhouette here, and then just to kind of frame it, we've sort of got an L shape. And then this can be, you know, a doorway again, or it could be like, you know, a mountain range or anything like that. This says diagram, but basically eye level. So we're just looking at this panel, the eye level of this particular panel here. So everything's right in the frame, no fancy angles or anything like that. Side light or top light. So we've got the light reflecting on our character right here, or on the top of his head. Reflection. So we've got a character here. Now this one doesn't look like it has any background. You could probably put a border. You could probably put a border or not. But then you've got, you know, in water or maybe a shiny surface, you can kind of see that reflection. Frame. I like this one a lot. So in here we've got a window frame, but anything that can kind of frame our characters, that works really well. White Benday background. So we've got sort of white background and then silhouettes in the foreground. 3 stage. So this is really simple but super effective. So in the foreground we've got, and this can kind of be blocked out or silhouetted like we have here. Then we've got the middle ground, and then again in the background. So we've got sort of foreground, middle ground, background, and then we can kind of see we go from dark to light to dark again. And you can do that with those Benday patterns as well. Here we're kind of focusing on an object here to provide some quick exposition or something like that. So we can do that with like a newspaper clipping or anything really. I've had, you know, files sitting on a desk or something it's important on a file or anything like that. Last but not least, we have contrast, and we can see how all the different contrasting darks and lights in here. But that's pretty much it. That's Wally Wood's 22 panels that always work. Like I said, if you want to see these up a little bit closer, you can just Google Wally Wood's 22 pages that always work. And yeah, so that is our quick tip for this week. I will see you guys later, and that is all. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like what you saw and you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. Also, you can follow me at Serkworks on social media, and now you can support the work that I do on Patreon. Do you like making comics? Then go to Serkworks.com and pick up the Comic Maker Starter Kit. It's packed full of fonts, brushes, templates, and more. And best of all, it's totally free.